Welcome, YouTube. This is Skaggly Bones coming to you with a gameplay series of some Diablo 3. This will be a Diablo 3 gameplay series which we will go through some hardcore character leveling and creation. So let's start off with some level creation. As you can see here, I have my level 70 hardcore character, seasonal character that I've been playing for a little bit of time now. But we're going to create a new character, and we're going to show you some power leveling, how you can make multiple hardcore characters and power level them the fastest way possible. So we're going to do, alright, we're going to click on Switch Hero. We're going to click on Create. This is going to bring up a new creation screen. We're going to go to Crusader. We're going to click on Male. And we're going to click on Hardcore Hero. There's a check here for Hardcore Hero. We're going to also click on Seasonal Hero, which will allow us access to our other hardcore seasonal character that we have. It will give access to all the stuff that he's picked up and put in the loot box, since all those are linked. Then we're going to name our character. Skaggly Bones. There we go. Now we're going to hit Create. It's going to give us this permanent death warning, and we're just going to click Accept. So now just a little bit of information. We're going to also go to Game Settings. We already have our key bindings and everything set up, so we're not going to really go through those. But instead of running through campaign mode, which will take quite a while, we're going to go on adventure mode. This will allow us to level our character quite a bit faster. If we had not played hardcore before, or we hadn't played hardcore seasonal before, you'd have to play through the campaign mode. But because we have played through it already once, we have the allowance to go to adventure mode. So we're going to go on adventure mode. Then we're going to do save and close. Once we actually start to play through, we get some gear, then we will raise our levels. We could start at harder, or expert, master, torment, even Torment. We can go all the way up to Torment 4. This is not going to change the level of the enemies. The enemies will scale level-wise with us, yet this will change how much damage the enemies do, and it will also change how much health the enemies do. So we're going to start off with normal for right now, and then as we get some gear, we are going to start to raise this. And this also, as you can see here, it gives you a slightly different gain in experience. For instance, hard mode give you 75 extra gold bonus and extra experience. Expert gives you 100%. Master gives you 200%. Torment gives you 300%. Torment 2 gives you 400, 550, 800, 1,100, and 1,600. So for right now, we're going to stick on normal for the first couple levels, and then we're going to begin to raise it up from them. So now we're going to start the game. Once we actually get in the game, one of the first things we want to do is, since we've played it before, we already have followers. As you can see here, we're not actually in the beginning of the game. First map would be New Tristram. We're actually in Bastion's Keep, because what it is as you can see these maps, we have access to all the maps since we've already played through them with another character. And we are in what's called adventure mode. Adventure mode allows you to go through and do what's called these bounties. So you can go through and fight any characters or enemies you want, and defeat any bosses. And when you go through and do certain bounties, you gain extra experience, extra gold. And once you're through, you'll get these what's called Herodic caches, and you'll get special loot. So that's what we're going to do. We're actually going to start off. We're going to actually start off doing a couple bounties. But first, we're going to come over here to our followers, and we're going to grab the Templar. We're going to hire him. Of course, he's level 1 with us, so we can't change out his gear. We can't add any spells, but he's going to give us a little bit of advantage. The third thing we want to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to open up our character screen. Here, we're going to click on our Paragon. we're going to click on our Paragon. And what this is going to allow us to do is, because we've already earned Paragon with a previous character, we're going to add to that. So what you want to do, and by the way, hopefully this video will help if you've had a hardcore character, he died, and you want to level up your second hardcore character, or third hardcore character for that matter, very quickly. So this is going to be the best way you want to do it. So what we're going to do is, and we can change these at any time because we can reset them. So we're going to want to add everything to strength. At this point, we're not going to worry about vitality. We're not going to be movement speed or maximum wrath. We're going to want to add everything to strength to get as much damage as possible. So when we click on this, we're going to want to hit shift on our keyboard. That's going to allow us to add 10 at a time. And we're just going to click till we have all our core points spent. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our offense, and we're going to first go to attack speed, and then we're going to go to, and you can fiddle with this, you can try half with critical hit chance, and then we're going to reset this. We're going to try critical hit chance, and then we're going to do critical hit damage. Okay. Next we're going to go to defense. We're going to do all resist, and then the next we want is armor. Okay, so resist all is your most important. That will kind of mitigate most of the damage we're going to see for right now, and you shouldn't die at all. So then we're going to go to your utilities, and we really don't care much about this, but we are going to add life on hit. Sorry. Then we're going to add resource cost reduction, so we're going to add the rest of that resource cost reduction. And then we're going to hit, I'm going to click back on here because I want to see how this changes. Critical hit chance normally is your first main damage increaser, and then critical hit damage, and then attack speed. So we're going to hit accept there, and if you go back here, you're going to notice normally this would be about 4 damage, and we're at 13 damage. So that's going to be pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to come over to our stash. I had grab some extra potions that I had. I have some other armor and stuff in here that I had from a previous character build that I was trying to before, but let's start out. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to run through some of these bounties real quick and see where we get. So and once we start to get a few a few bits of armor and stuff, then we will actually be able to go into rifts and start to run rifts, because rifts are going to ultimately be the fastest way to level the game. It's pretty quickly. Level 2. Which gives us our shield bash. Will be our main spender and main damage dealer for the game. All pools of reflection you come to, by the way, you will want to click on those, because they will actually add to the amount of they're going to add actual extra experience points and allow for quicker leveling. So you want to click on any of those that you can get your hands on. Mostly what we're looking for is blue and yellow mobs. Those are going to give us the most bang for our buck as far as experience is concerned. Got a shield. That shield. Looks like we gotta go up to the top of the map. I have everything hotkeyed for on my mouse. Also, as a keypad, I'm using the Razer Nostromo, and that's going to allow it so that I don't really have to take my hands off the keypad or the mouse. Allow for the quickest use of all of my keys. Also, I don't have to have a big clunky keyboard in front of me most of the time. What I'm looking for right now is we're looking for this enemy. Once we get close to him, we actually, you see, you're gonna actually get a you'll get up in the map. You'll get a little circle, yellow circle that'll appear when you're getting close to him. So if you can't find him, there you go, the mobs. Equip that gear. There you go, right there. You can see there's Lash Tongue. We still have kill altogether. We have to kill 150 enemies, as you can see by the objectives. So conveniently show for you. We're gonna keep killing enemies. You can kill Lash Tongue first. It's not gonna hurt to kill him first. You see right there, I killed him really quick. But don't run out of the dungeon just yet, because we still have a few more enemies to kill. Okay, keep going. And once we're done with this bounty, we're going to go into some rifts. In fact, you'll find these.
Fortunate enough to learn much of the barbarians' complicated time. Yet the origins of these large, mighty warriors.
We have a cursed chest right here. We're going to click on the cursed chest. This is going to actually give us a little event here. Play all the enemies before the timer runs out. These are pretty easy. You get a cache of stuff. In fact, we're going to get some boots that we needed. Put those on.
Kingdom of Kyrgyzstan, I've heard rumors of Zakharum warriors called Crusaders. While the natives were most reticent, I was able to deduce that this order was founded 200 years ago, just as Rakis took his army of paladins west. These Crusaders went east on a very different mission.
The big thing we want is blue mobs. That's why the power level, the fastest way to do it is going to be to go with rifts. We already have rift stones. If you don't have rift stones, don't worry about it. You played a previous hardcore mode and lost all your rift stones. Not a big deal. Just go through some of these bounties. In fact, some of these bounties, the rewards are rift stones. You'll get rift stones for all the bounties you beat, so at least get one or two. There we go. We got an axe. How much that brought up the amount of damage? Quite a bit. Very important, your weapons. You want to change them out of whatever's better, especially early on, because what will raise your damage the most is plus to damage. Strength doesn't right now is not going to really raise your damage that much, and then the higher your damage is on your weapon, the better off you're going to be. So you want to make sure that the numbers, for instance, that's only 3 damage. That's 6 damage is double the damage. If you look here, put that on 13 damage, 29 damage. So quite a big difference. Damage. About 5 more enemies to kill, and then we'll go run some bounties. Sorry, not some bounties. We're going to run some rifts. Rifts are just quite a bit quicker, simply because there's enemies everywhere. So with this group, we're going to finish it up. As you can see there, we got we got shield glare. It's going to give you this little pop up here every time you get a new ability. Bash. So we're just going to keep that the way it is. We're not going to change anything. And then we'll teleport back to town. We're going to come here. We're going to salvage everything. Now these two items it didn't let us salvage because those were my original items, and you have to sell those. If you purchase an item from any merchant, you can't salvage it either, so you're going to have to sell it back. Quite a bit of a loss. Now we're going to go over here. We're going to go back to our first tab now. As you can see here, we have 5 tabs. There's 5 tabs available in Diablo 3. So it allows you to purchase new tabs. When you start off, you literally have one, I think it's 2 rows in your inventory, and then for 10,000 gold, you can buy more tabs. And then once you're done here, for, I forget what the exact cost is, you can buy a new tab, and then you can buy more rows, and then buy a new tab, buy more new tabs and more rows, new tabs, more rows. And by the time you're done, you spend about a million gold. Then you have 5 tabs. Of course, you can change these icons by right-clicking on each one of them, and you can change them to whatever you want. So, I keep that the same. My first tab, though, just to let you know, so that I can quick drop everything in there, it's all my crafting ingredients and my stones, or my gems. And what I was talking about earlier about gems is the fact that once we get, finally, we'll get socket position. And once we get one for the weapon, or have the ability to, which is around level 20, we're going to want to put a red gem in there, a ruby. Now, a lot of people will try to put one of these in because it adds critical hit damage to your weapon. But at lower levels, critical hit damage doesn't do near as much damage as just plain damage. So if I have a weapon that does, let's say, 25 damage per second, and I add 250 damage per second on top of that, that is 100 or 1,000 times the damage. So that's what we really want to do, is put these larger gems that I collected from my level 70 characters. So that's kind of the advantage of when you play hardcore. Keep everything out of your inventory, because if I was to die, what I would lose would be everything that's in this inventory here and all this stuff. I do lose nothing in my stash. So pull out that, pull out this, because I'm going to put these items on right now. Other items, I'll put them on as I get them. Salvage. Typically I'll be doing this a little quicker, but for the reasons of showing you guys what you need to do this quick. Oh, by the way, we're going to go back here. We're going to grab all these rift keys right here. Bring them over to our stash. Okay, now if you say, well, what if you lost all those? If I come down here, you'll see I have 1,000 health potions, so this 453 isn't anything. I have 197 rift keys here. Whereas I have greater rift keys as well. A whole buttload of Keystone of Trials, which allows for greater rift keys. I can't use these right now, so we're not going to do greater rifts. We're going to only stick with the regular rifts. So me losing these 36 rift keystone fragments is nothing compared to the rest of that I have, so I'm not really worried about that. So now we're going to come over here, and we're going to start. We click on the Nephilim obelisk, and that's going to bring up this little screen. All you have to do is you have to right click on this. It'll pop one in there. I click accept, and it's going to open up this rift. Now I could go back and drop all these back into my inventory so that I wouldn't lose them if I died, but there's really no need for that. We want to save time. If you have quite a bit others kind of as backup, then you won't really need to do that. And then I'll just go through, and as I'm going through the rift, I'm going to look for as many of the, there we go, these type of enemies as I can find. Also, when I get a better weapon, I'm going to take my weapon, this weapon, and I'll put it on his. Except for, I believe, his weapon is actually better than this one, so not really worth it. There you go. Nice thing about the Nephilim Rifts, you don't really know where you're going to find anything. You just kind of go through and kill stuff. Once you actually, this gets all the way up to here, to 100%, your Rift boss will appear, and then you kill the Rift boss. Maybe go back. Found a dead end. That's the only problem with Rifts. From time to time you'll find dead ends. Looks like we need to go over here. I have my maps hotkeyed to 2 buttons on my mouse. Oh, it's for quick access. Now, anything I'm going to pick up, I'm just not going to pick up any blue and yellow items. I will not pick up white items just because they're not really worth anything. I don't need to salvage them. I got way too many of those. All the common debris. So I got plenty of common debris. I don't really need it. Templar's leveled up, so he gets his first. By the way, Templar, I use heals. I don't use intervene. I use heal. In fact, for Templar, I'll use all these skills on the left-hand side. Channeling Pylon, this is good. Cool. Why the channel pylon is activated, I want to use only my wrath spender, because channeling pylon makes it so that I don't actually use wrath at all. Use my cooldowns and it causes me not to use wrath. Don't get much time with that, but it does allow for some slightly quicker kills. Now the shrines, they last for quite a bit longer than pylons do, but they just don't give you as much. It's shielding doesn't give you as much damage. Typically, my rule when you get in higher levels is I want something to be at 10%. Do 10% more. You can see here it gives you a 10% increase, I should say. If I'm going to lose in one stat, one of my primary stats, I want 10% more in each of my other stats to make it worthwhile changing out. So let's say I have a pair of boots that give me strength, stamina, and all resist. I pick up a pair of boots that do more strength. Just 1% more stamina and strength, but no all resist, then I'm not going to switch them out. Because that all resist is worth a little bit more to me. A little bit of strength that I'm going to get. So those are a couple things you need to remember as you're playing through the game. see, you got some lightning shards here. I got channel pile on. Sorry to mention. Now, in early levels, I might offer a slight more damage than I will for some vitality or something like that, because of the fact that I have so much all resist from Paragon levels at this point in time that I really don't care about survivability. The character is pretty impossible to kill at this point in time. Look at something real quick. So if you go over Paragon, I go over to my utility. My life on hit is plus 10. And on my defense, my all resist is 250. So I go back over here to my details and I look at my all resist. I'm at 89% resistance to all enemies, which is near, it's pretty hard to get at even a level 70. Near impossible to get that. So that would put, typically at level 70, that would make your toughness at about 20 to 30 million. So that's pretty high. So I'm not worried about dying. And I'm killing stuff quick enough that I'm kind of a junkie. I pick up those yellow orbs simply because they give you what's called Nephilim Glory right here. You move faster and unleash a terrible blast of energy. So, and you're allowed up to 3 stacks of Nephilim Glory. An upgrade. By the way, never have automatic equip. So we're going to equip this. It's going to give us extra toughness, strength, vitality. And we're going to equip this because it's giving us extra wrath regeneration. It's good. Don't want. So, nope. Looks like we got ourselves in a corner. Okay. You'll see pylons out in the non-rift world, but not as often as you're going to find shrines, and they're a lot more common. As you can see right now, we've leveled up to level 7 pretty quick. We're going to give that to our follower. A little bit better than what he had. We're going to give that to him. We're going to equip that on ourselves. Okay. I never equip whites, but such an increase. As you notice, vitality regenerates 3 life per second, 4 life per hit. So we're going to add that because it adds this extra toughness and extra healing we didn't have before on it. And we're going to give that to our Templar. Thank you. Not by a lot, but it's going to give a little bit extra damage.
My wrath is low.
Normally, I've been trapped like that. I didn't have Paragon, so I'd probably been dead. Armor, but it's all intelligence, so it doesn't really do me good. Now, intelligence will add to my all resist, but I don't really care about that right now. That much all resist. Not much all resist. Like literally 1 or 2 points of all resist is going to help me. Armor does help you. If you have enough all resist, you don't really need a ton of armor. So you start to routine game. Those goblins, you want to kill them. They're going to give you some good loot. There's the Rift Guardian there. You'll normally worry on you. Two-handed. Can't use two-handed yet until I level 8. Sorry. Correction, level 9. I am level 8. I don't know what I was talking about there. So I'm going to try to get... Once we get to level 10, we get... See what we got here.
Bravely, facing down enemies in places pulled from the deepest corners of their memories. Ours is a race of great power, but we are nothing unless we temper it with skill. If you are to achieve your birthright, then conquer the rifts and take your rightful place among us. This will help.
Do that one. If you notice there, it has quite a bit more toughness and healing. And normally I would add it. That's more than, you notice that was 10% more. I'm at a higher level. I'd actually probably use that. Watch here. I got 598 health. Raising that gives me 600. Actually, I'll just keep that because right now. You notice I'll keep on going because I still want to get as many of the yellow mobs as I can. Not worried about gold. Point. I have 179 million. More worried about items I can use in my character. Here's the rope mobs.
You can only carry so much on the crusade.
Or reflection. We definitely want those. Now, one little tidbit of information for reflection. If you notice this little marker shows where it's at. Well, if I click on another one, this isn't going to move anywhere. But don't be weary, it will continue to stack up into the next level. So that's not a problem. So don't be weary of that. Or don't be worry that, oh, I'm wasting clicking on this extra pools of reflection. So we're going to go back. We're going to be done with this rift right now. And we're going to, I'll show you how you close out your rift. So you come back, come over here to Orc, click on them, and bam, level up. Now on level 9. We got a new skill. We got Provoke, and we got Shield Glare. We also got Iron Skin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one because I'll show you what we're going to do. I actually want Provoke. The reason I want Provoke is it's got a generates 30 Wrath, so it's going to help us with our Wrath regeneration and resource management. So I'm going to click on that Provoke on my outside key. I'm going to click on this one, and for this one I'm going to use Iron Skin. Iron Skin right there. Iron Skin is going to absorb some extra damage. Except for that. Click on Punish. I no longer want Punish anymore. Click on Slash with Electrify. My primary. Or Shield Bash. I'm going to click on Shattered Shield. I'm not going to use Sweep Attack. Sweep Attack just really just doesn't do enough damage as Shield Bash does. Where I will change it out eventually is when we get into Fist of Heaven. Once I gain Fist of Heaven, I will use Fist of Heaven. It's more of a ranged damage dealer. Close that. We're going to go over here and then, of course, rinse and repeat. We're going to salvage. Throw stuff back in here. Over here and see if I can. Ooh, look at this. So now I can use everything other than my shoulders and this dagger. Level 10, level 11. But I'm going to pull them out for now because even though I'm not going to use them. Drop that for now because I want to do this. Salvage. Yes. Salvage. Pick that up. Do that. Sorry. Keep this in because I'll hit level 10 soon. Takes much longer. See if we can actually make a weapon here, anything decent. Level 10 I can use two-handed because I will actually get a passive here, and it's going to be having strength, which will allow me to use two-handed weapons with a shield. Right now we're going to create this. Ooh, look at that. Put that on. This.
Ah, good.
Salvage. Salvage table. And we're just gonna run, rinse and repeat. Do another rift. Some people are like, well, this is boring. This isn't as interesting as running through the game. But you already run through the game once before. You already know what the storyline is. There's no reason to do it again. If you want to. Almost the same thing there. This way you can actually do it between 6 to 10 hours if you want. It depends how fast you can level and you keep increasing the hardness or the difficulty. Will do eventually. Kind of probably at the end of the video. That's another thing too. You want to make sure that you hotkey your inventory. You want to make sure you hotkey your ability, your skills, and also make sure you hotkey your followers' inventory. That way you don't have to come down here and click on everything or click on an image. Otherwise, you do have to click on a lot of stuff. Oh, not that good. There we go. We have an upgrade for our Templar. Because he can't use Crusader shields. So you want to be able to keep your follower upgrade as much as possible as well. Vitality regeneration. Second. So. Also worried about strength at this point in time. Well, damage, overall damage. Level 10. Now level 10, our Templar, he levels up, he gets an extra ability, which is loyalty, regenerates 14 life per second for units Templar, so we want that. We want much healing as possible. We don't care about intimidate, because you're pretty much a tank as well. You just want healing. You don't want intervene, you don't care about intervene. You want healing, charge, where you can choose onslaught, and then you got inspire, which will regenerate your fury. Only level 20. So that's kind of how we want to go, as far as that's concerned. Now we've going. Now either one of these is going to add for damage. This will add to damage if I can use it. If I go to use a two-hander, which I do not have right now. And this skill will just add damage. So I want to show you right now we're at 99 damage or 100. Click on here, click on Fervor, hit accept. We're now at 114. So, doesn't seem like a lot, but it's actually quite a bit. The farther you get. Two hands right now, they're not that much stronger. So you kind of have to debate a little bit. More or less give you some different ranges. It is that you can use. Open hero.
Not enough life.
For the big thing that you really want to watch out for is trying to get as many other late mobs as you can. And those blue and gold mobs, that's really what you want. They're going for the buck. Also, when it comes to this indicator, it'll actually go a little faster. Blue and yellow mobs, so late mobs. At some point, you're going to come into your paths, and you'll notice that when you get a stone that will take you back to town. So that's why earlier on, try to make the most out of the maps I'm on. Even if I find the end, unless it seems like it's a small map, I try to find other parts of the map and other enemies. It doesn't seem like I've killed a lot of elite mobs and stuff. I'll kind of keep looking for some enemies. So. Better share. I don't do a lot of crafting while I'm leveling up, just because you're not going to use the equipment you have. You're not going to use for very long. You're going to level up too quick. You want to stay within, unless it's a legendary item, you want to stay within 5 levels of the equipment of what your character is. So, it's 11 legendary, you can use it for about 10 levels. So, then after that, you want to steel pylons. Those are going to make you indestructible. They're not going to let you kill anything quicker. Power pylons will. It will make you indestructible, so you go ahead and run into anything you want to. Just be wary of the meter. Anything you do, don't get stuck in a situation where it's very chill. Gotta do. Blazing sweep. Slash. You have smite. Smite's a little bit more of a range one, but we're not gonna. If ever you click on anything and you're like, "Ooh, I don't want that," so I just cancel out of it, and it's gonna keep the settings that you had previously. There we go. An Earth Guardian. One thing you want to make sure, especially if you're running pretty even equipment or you're getting near the end of where your paragons are actually doing anything for you, you want to make sure that you kind of kill the other stuff first, maybe before your rift boss. If you're in higher to worry about that now.
I'm overburdened.
Go back anyways. Notice it's end of the level anyways. So we just still want to pick up this stuff. We're going to teleport back. We're going to destroy a bunch of stuff. Actually use that. Use that. Use that. Go over Templar. We want to use this. I try to keep the Crusader shields for myself and use the standard shields for my Templar. But if I have a shield that's a little bit better, I'll use that. Any rings that I'm not using. First thing you want with rings is that add attack damage. So they're going to actually add damage. In fact, let's see if we can find one over here for sale. Order our merchant here. Click on trinkets. Strength. Gain 4% more damage. Vitality. Dexterity. So no, they don't have one that has damage. I'm going to show you kind of how much. Now I don't want to go over here and click on Orc yet because this will close out the rift. So we're going to go back into the rift because we still want to pick up this extra loot. We get a ring here that can be kind of useful. Not for me. That is a little bit better. So I'm going to click that on there. Put this guy on him. Doesn't do a whole lot for him, but those boots. Nope. And look at that, we got our first legendary. Now this legendary I picked up, I was doing a kind of an initial recording of this, kind of didn't work out. I didn't have my webcam set properly, so I didn't have my own personal video in the video. But I did pick it up pretty quick. You will start picking up legendaries right around level 10 or level 11. That's going to when the first ones will come in play. So as you can see there, that was level 11. I picked it up at level 11. And then this one I got at level 11 as well. So there you go. And that's why I click on everything, because you never know you're going to get legendaries. So we're going to keep going in this. We can go in and turn this in, then do another one, but we're going to attempt to kind of get as much out of this as we can, see if we can find some more. Find some more gear. And get some levels out of it. Like I said, gold we're not really that concerned about. But if we're running over it, we'll run over it. Got plenty of gold. Here's by the way, this is quite a fast attack weapon, so it's quite a bit quicker. Now, normally I don't want something that's fast. I want something that's a little slower for resource management, but because our shield bash, I don't use it many times consistently. You don't need to. So you need to use it once. Use your normal attack a couple times. Not so critical. All right. Sorry. It also has something, if you look at here, it's also got some thorns damage. Not a lot, but it has a little bit of thorns damage. Molten is one of those things you gotta really watch out for, because once the molten disappears, once the enemy dies, they explode. So that's not something I really want to get. So anytime they start to explode, they run away. You get a few seconds. This is why it's so much better to run through rifts. Even after you're done with the rift boss itself, you can continue to play, continue to kill more and more enemies, and get more and more legendary. Low level as well, you're not going to worry about the difference between gold and blues. Use whatever's going to give you the highest damage. Crap, just experience. Now, you can put those on your followers because it will actually translate over for you. Here's some shared. Gold fine is shared amongst you. And experience. So if he has experience on his, it's going to translate over to you. So don't be afraid that, oh, I've added something that's silly for my follower because he doesn't really need experience. That experience actually translates to you. So if you're going to have rings that are kind of worthless like that, put those on your follower. At the beginning of the game anyways. Now, later on you don't want those. If you have strength and damage, you want to put those on your follower because you want your follower to do as much damage as possible. But for right now, since it's the only thing we got, now, right there, here's a good example. So we just got our first damage ring. If you notice this, if I put this on, that adds 23.3 damage. If I change it, what this reduces with this masterful ring. Over the keen ring of slaughter. And that reduces or increases by 21% damage, excuse me. But I lose some life on kill. So I'm going to replace it with this. This resource cost one. On me, I'm not worried about it being on my follower since he doesn't use resources. Just salvage it then. No, put me almost up to 200 DPS. A little bit lower in damage. We're going to go back. We're going to do one more rift before we kind of end this session. I think we're going to do one more rift. Let's see here. Yep, we're going to do one more rift. We're in for the day. I can't use any of this stuff. Everything is level 70. Don't worry, I'd overpower myself. What I really want is need to be able to get a weapon that's gonna. It won't let me make level 10 weapons right now.
Your skill has grown.
So we get another skill. We get a couple of skills. We get Blessed Hammer, Speed Charge. It does help you run through them quicker, but I really use that right now. And we have a new one. We have Vigilant. Increases life regeneration, but I don't care about our life regeneration right now. Really, until later on. But even then, once we really level 70, we're not going to. Here. So I always have force run bound to my mouse. I was wondering why it wasn't working, but there you go. I had it on the wrong settings. So we're should be able to do one more of these before we stop for the night. We're gonna throw some guys at me right away. A little bit better for him. Nope. Gold for monsters. Nope. Not even better for me. Nope. Other thing I do when I'm playing, I tend to turn off the in-game music. And I just listen to my Pandora. That's what I do. I can kind of have any music I want. Typically, I'll listen to music that's just move faster. Allows me to move a little quicker through the game. Now, once we're done with this rift, I'm going to show you one more thing quickly. I'm going to not do it on a rift, but I'm going to do a little get out of that stuff and do something on a bounty. Go into one of the bounty areas. What we'll do, anytime I change the difficulty level, go in and test it. I don't do it on a rift because I don't want to waste rift stone. I go into a bounty area. I test it someplace I can get out of that area real quick if I need to, if I can't kill stuff quick enough. The big secret is I want to be one-shotting most all my enemies. Not my blue enemies, but one or two shotting. Doing everything 1 or 2 shots. I can kill everything in 1 or 2 shots. Well, like I said, not the blues or the yellow guys. I can 1 or 2 shot those guys. I'm working pretty efficiently. Because I want to be able to move through any area I'm at really quick. Now, granted, I could play through probably 2 or 3 levels higher and play pretty cautiously. But because we're on hardcore, risk dying, the thought of dying, especially as I'm leveling, kind of annoying. So I'm gonna play it safe. You're gonna typically play a little safer than you normally would. Go. 14. Okay, so we're going to take a second here. We actually want to look at this. Oh. So level 14, you gain a second. Third. Besides your primary or secondary skill, you gain a new skill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you gain your 5th. 6 will be at level 19. So I actually want to have Laws of Valor. Laws of Valor is going to empower powering the law granting your increased attack speed. So and by the way, I empower it, I activate this, I get an active empowerment for 5 seconds. Passive, it has a constant thing on. So if you look at the passive, it's recite the law granting you and your allies 8% increased attack speed all the time. Okay, so if you look at right now, I'm at 212 damage. So let me choose something else. I choose Steed Charge. I go to 199. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Laws of Valor. Steps. So that's extra damage. So we want to be able to have all that extra damage. So I kind of always have one of my laws. If I'm finding that I don't have enough, I have plenty of damage, but I don't have enough. I don't have enough survivability. And I'll choose one of my other laws because you actually have 3 different laws. You have laws of justice, grants increased resistance to all, 34 increased resistance to all elements all the time, and then it's gonna be level 17. By the way, once you get to level 70, that's gonna be quite a bit more. That's gonna be like 200 resistance. And laws of hope, recite the law, grants extra healing. So you have justice, which is more resistances, laws of hope, which is extra healing, laws of valor, which is extra damage. Since we're looking for extra damage, that's what we're going to go for. Now, I got plenty of protection with my 15,000 toughness. You notice when I kill a couple groups of loser golds that you notice I pop my iron skin on that one because of molten. Oh, we can go back and pick up the loot. Last thing you want to die is, or sorry, last thing you want to do is die while you're trying to pick up some loot. You're stupid. I'll go back later and pick up loot. You got enemies are exploding around you, just get away. Now you're not going to die from environments have exploding. That stuff doesn't do any damage to the environment. Never do damage to it, so that's one quick hit. It looks like it's going to explode and hurt you. You don't have to worry about environment. Get out of there. Bounty. Mostly what I'm concerned about is damage. I put damage isn't giving me a whole lot right now. There we go, there's another rift to it. Down. Like anything good? Looks like nothing. Garbage. No big deal. I don't think we got any weapons either. Doesn't look like we got anything. It's okay. You always get stuff that's usable.
I would have chosen the same.
Yep. We're going to go back. We're going to salvage.
Your trial is complete.
Okay. Salvage everything. I don't think there's anything that I can make that's probably better. Layout might be a little better. So whatever the points on that, whatever it says right there, doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going to make it. Actually, going to make a 2-inch flail. We're going to craft that. Now, if you realize this is not going to actually give you 148% more damage. Because let me show you something. Right now we're 213 damage. Gotta go over here to fervor. Select heavily strength. Gonna reduce damage by 20%. 50 damage. So it's going to give us 384 damage instead of the 200. So it is giving me an extra. Do this again. Get fervor. 213% damage. 213 DPS. Okay, we're going to go back. Heavenly strength. Now we're got up to 384. Yes. We give this to a follower. It's going to give him quite a bit more damage. And so we're going to do that. So now we're going to exit out real quick, and I will show you what we're going to do. We're going to do a little test to see if we're going to run on a different hardness level. We're going to go to game settings, click on change it, and we're going to go to hard mode. Okay, I could probably jump up to expert. But we don't have any gems or enchantments. Now, as soon as I get my first gem in a weapon, that's when I'm going to go up to, I'm going to go up to expert mode, or probably master mode. So right now, we're going to start. Now, remember I'm using two-handed weapon, so it's going to be a little bit slower attacking than it was previously. So anytime you go to a two-handed weapon, it could be a little slower. And then we're going to go to this one. This is pretty, this area, the core of Ariat is pretty straightforward. And we can even kill Asmodan. Kind of see how good this does at this level against a boss. That'll give us, because the Rift bosses are the same equivalent. If I start to struggle in this, I can just exit out. I don't die. But if I am not struggling, or if everything's too easy, the other thing too, if you find treasure goblins, you have a chance that a treasure goblin in bounty mode will open up a portal to the realm of greed, which is nice because when you get to the end, greed's pretty simple. You get to the end, you can kill the greed queen, and she will drop a legendary gem called Boon of the Hoarding. Of course, I've lost my Boon of the Hoarding on hardcore, simply because I was stupid, and of course I died with it on me, and it got it to kill. Or behind me go. Go in here real quick, Artisan, kill Asmodan real fast, and we're going to see how well this does against boss, which will kind of give us an idea if how tough the Rift boss is going to be. I don't foresee it being tough at all. Oh, let's go. So that's complete, and that's gonna be it, folks. We can go do our last bit of salvaging, roll everything back in, and put everything back into our stash. That's gonna be it. for us today. So, until next time, folks, this is Skagly Bones with our Diablo 3 series. Thank you.